Good evening, Podrace fans, and welcome to the Galactic Podracing Championship. Upper losers first round. I am joined today by Game Draco, my co-commentator, my co-conspirator, my cohort, co-disaster area. Our runners today are kingbeandip and Galeforce, and our first track will be Malistaire 100.
This is losers, the final match of losers round 1. Whoever wins this advances into the losers quarters, and whoever loses gets eliminated.
So Draco, do you want to do the meme?
Oh, the Malistaire 100 meme?
Yeah, the Malistaire 100 meme about how this track is based on Sonoma Raceway.
Yes, it's based on a real-life racetrack, Sonoma Raceway in Northern California.
Mark your bingo cards, we got it.
Can't be sure about it, but this track, distinction of having the lowest of the low traction and frame rate combination of 2420, which, if you play this game for a little bit, particularly on PC, you'll realize that frame rate means a lot in this game.
Ah, yes, we get to mark another bingo space as commentators address TFPS. Effectively, the traction formula is inadvertently tied to frame rate. It tries to cancel out frame time in its calculations, but it does it wrong. It actually cancels out frame rate by dividing it out on both sides of the map. So it ends up being quite important. I don't want to plug my own channel or anything, but I think that is somewhere in our Podracer Academy
we're starting.
Channel. Oh boy!
So
need a 2-second sync? Maybe a 1.5?
Yeah. Looks like about 2.
You putting that in, or? You putting that in? You want me to put that in?
Okay.
Oh, you already put it in? There we go.
No, it's just punched in. Here we go. Here we go.
Got it.
kingbeandip on much better heat. It looks like Galeforce underheated, which is a big problem in this game.
Underheat is a terrible plague to befall any of our players. Essentially, it's time you can't make up because you've spent time with fully cooled engines not boosting. KBD is always very strong on M100, so I'm a little surprised that this was left open. Oh, that was a very clean hairpin from both players.
Ooh, this is really close.
Gale made up time.
Gale is a second faster than kingbeandip on that second lap.
I think that's because KBD did a couple of... what happened?
Gale took a little scrape.
I was in the middle of explaining that KBD did a couple of really short reboosts that kind of cost him there. This is going to be close.
Gale wins by about about 8/10 of a second, or 9/10 of a second.
That's a narrow margin. Oh boy, we're off to a great start. We're off to a phenomenal start. I would not have this any other way. These are two very high-level players, two very similarly leveled players. This is going to be a good one, folks. You're not going to want to miss a second.
From kingbeandip banning Bunta training course, Galeforce banning Bunta Classic.
No Tatooine today. So at Mongaza Speedway.
Here we go. Now we're getting correct bans coming in.
The intended ban. And then grab by Gateway. Okay, now we got it. Everything's fine. Temp ban, dud bolt.
Okay, Gale banning
we got Zugga Challenge is temp banned. So where do we go, KBD? Where do you take us?
kingbeandip is thinking about it. I think Gale took out his 3 strongest tracks.
Bunta Classic, Grabvine, and Zugga, they are all noticeably missing. Baru Coast! Best times for our runners under these conditions, KBD has a 354.985 in tourney, and Gale has a 359.796 in tourney. So this is sort of in KBD's favor, but we don't know what Gale's been practicing in the background.
This track is also super... Oh dear, Galeforce not happy with this because this pod on this track is Ben Quinaros, but using him on this track is like trying to use a dragster on a Formula One track.
That is absolutely right. So we must know then that Gale hasn't been practicing this.
The next fastest pods are much slower than Ben, but much easier to use. And kingbeandip has done this track with Ben before.
It's going to come down to consistency and line quality, as it often does, but the consistency advantage is definitely in KBD's hand right now.
Really solid runner of the game, and also he knows how to do this track with Ben.
Versus Gale, who the community joke is that Gale only runs the game 3 hours out of the year. That said, those 3 hours out of the year where he boots into the game are usually pretty powerful.
Starting, or I have no idea.
Must be a skill issue with Lightning Pirate's computer. This should be it. Is this it? Did we start?
Looks like it.
Wow, that's gonna be a pretty long sync there.
Yeah.
About 11 seconds.
About 10 seconds at my end.
Sure it's 10? It might be. Yeah, it's 10.
10 seconds with kingbeandip in head. There's that grinding. Oh no! kingbeandip takes a crash.
Ooh. Is the sync put in?
I don't see the sync on my end.
Oh, we never zeroed back out.
Gale scrapes and comes in with a 121.
I'm trying to fix the sync. Give it a second. That's closer, but it's still off by 5. Oh, dear.
Yeah.
This is why I mentioned that we needed to zero this back out. We might be a little bit ruined on syncing this one at this point.
Yeah. Oh! Gale crashes!
Sorry, folks.
Yep.
I added 10, or at least I tried to reach 10, because I didn't realize that it was an add 10 situation. Well, hold on, that means that I need another... Yeah, add another 2.2, because I tried to make it all the way to... Wait.
It's jumped.
Might be a secondary sync coming in.
And
Or not. I might just be dumb. This didn't work. I feel embarrassed.
looks like it got reset.
We got reset. Okay. So then
kingbeandip takes another crash.
Okay. I think I figured it out.
Yeah, King Bean Dip
There
is just
it
pulling
is.
away with better driving. And the race is almost over.
We got there in the end. That's what matters. Oh, this was an atrocity.
But yeah, and King Bean Dip coming in with a 404. Gale with a 409.
Okay.
King Bean Dip easily takes this.
Ban phase again.
Now it's in Galeforce's court to ban a pod. Banning Rand Sandage.
Seriously, great. Shut
This
up,
ban
LP.
on King Bean Dip, very wise. Oh, here we come.
Oh boy. Gale's taking out the big guns here. We're going to one of the tracks Gale is really solid on.
Apparently King Bean Dip is too.
This is true. KBD's best tourney time is better than Gale's, but remember, Gale in tourney is a bit of a hot commodity. Plus, a little bit of lore. My Scrapper's runtime for very brief amount of time was faster than the one that Gale had on speedrun.com because there was some kind of purge that removed Scrapper skips times from full track because we changed some of the rulings. So he ended up grinding that for a little bit just to shut me up. So this should be fresher in his mind. I didn't say he had to grind it for a long time, just that he had to grind it a little, so it was fresher in his mind. Don't have to point out it only took him an hour to beat my time.
Crashing a lot in warm-up.
KBD or Gale?
Both.
Alright, Goof has to depart, but is calling that this will be a win for Gale. What do you think, Draco?
I still see King Bean Dip seen here. Could go either way, but King Bean Dip I feel like has practiced a bit more recently than Gale. Just Gale had bad luck with the last two tracks in his previous match against Mikey Burger, like the most scarily consistent player in the history of this game. Now this looks like the real race. Off by about
looks like it's
2
about
seconds.
Alright, I will put that in. 2 seconds, KBD leading. Sync is in, should be coming up shortly.
Yeah. This is close, but King Bean Dip looks like he has slightly better heat management. King Bean Dip did a bonk. That might have cost him. Caused him to underheat. Gale, I think, now has the lead.
I think Gale's gonna have this one pretty well.
Oh, he loses it while King Bean Dip holds it. Now they're about evenly tied going into it. Now they're approaching pretty much the deadliest part of the track. Both dodge it.
That caution wall is pretty much a one-hit KO if you touch it.
Oh no!
Oh well.
But
Gale's
falls off while
worse.
King Bean Dip crashes.
I
So
think Gale's was worse. He's behind now.
Oh no! That really threw Gale off. He crashed. King Bean Dip now firmly in the lead.
Oh dear, oh dear. This is a net negative here for Gale. Looks like Goof may have cursed him. Thanks a lot, Goofbrush.
Here we go.
Catch on the rebroadcast, buddy, as Gale falls off again.
Tilting on this track on the walls is like, it's so easy to just fall off the track. It's like they weren't even built as walls.
Yep, Gale didn't even stand a chance on that. This is what Goofbrush's belief gets you, everybody. Where we going now, boys?
Yeah, once again banging Rand Sandage. King Bean Dip once again banging Abyss.
There's other skips that Wan is pretty good at, right? Although Bunta training has been banned, so I guess the other main Wan skip is gone, isn't it?
Also, Doug Derby.
That is true. Doug Derby skip does exist, and that is still on the table. Can Mars do Doug Derby skip? Probably, right?
I'm not so sure. Here we go.
We're going Gauntlet.
Both
Gale,
have
I
their
know for a
fastest
fact.
time off by 0.4 of a second, with 1 death for each one with their fastest.
I know one thing for sure. Gale hates Gauntlet skips, so this is both a strategic play to get the Gauntlet skip out of the pool without a salty run back, and a good play because Gale happens to like the full track so much more. That said, Gauntlet is a 5-minute track, so we're gonna have a good time here, folks. Get ready for a road trip.
This is the longest track in the game by distance.
One major make-or-break part of this track happens in the open air section around the asteroid field. There's a nice jump that you can make, and then there's a long off-road shortcut that you want to go into with as low heat as possible to hold your boost the whole way. If you don't know what you're doing there, it can be disastrous. If you do know what you're doing there, you're fine.
It also only works with certain pods because Ben's boost is so long and strong, he can easily make it down this off-road shortcut.
Yeah, like you just saw KBD do there, and like you're watching Galeforce finish doing right now. Now, Gauntlet has one final obstacle that KBD is approaching currently in the practice run here, which is the tube. Gauntlet's tube is not the worst of the Uvo tubes, if I had to guess. But it does tend to pose a bit of a hazard. Gale ran into one of those asteroids to show it off there. We appreciate that.
Yeah. Probably, I would say, the second most dangerous tube after Vengeance.
Looks like Gale is leading by about half a second.
It looks like it.
Quick little .5 sync coming in here. Excellent.
Here we go. Here's the quick off-road shortcut. Both get it.
Both are going to have absolutely no problems with their heat on this one. Looks like KBD is a little bit ahead.
A little bit ahead. Gale nails
that
the
inside
shorter
line
path.
That inside line is absolutely going to start giving Gale the edge lap for lap here if he can keep that up.
Yeah. But this track is so long and so full of hazards, you can't really call it.
It's sort of like a pressure's on situation for both our runners.
Because here's the other part coming in the tube. It has the most dangerous entry of all the tubes just because of that rotating gate. In cases it can just change your direction at will.
Yeah, that rotating door sometimes bugs out a little bit and just snaps back to a different position.
Kingbeandip
It's a very
by 2/3 of a second.
Ooh. We'll see if that lead quickly erodes over time here.
Ooh. Galeforce almost ricocheting into the walls of that tube.
Gale does seem to be a little behind right now. I'm not sure if he's gaining or losing time overall, but that entry to that one section did not help his chances. I agree with you, Sandwich Movie. I am also on the edge of my seat. I think that's almost, right?
Let's see, is he going for it? Nails it again.
Gale gets it a second time. Yeah, okay, that is Balmas. Hi, Balmas. Oh boy. Neck and neck.
Let's see what happens. This tube can really make it or break it. It did it for Gale in his wrench against Mike on the final lap. Oh, how did
That
Gale
is true.
survive that?
I'm just in awe.
Gale, a tenth of a second ahead of kingbeandip, but that previous lap still had kingbeandip in the lead.
This match really has me feeling like a prisoner on Uvo 4. I want to see somebody crash. Ooh. Has Gale eked out a lead?
Looks like it.
It almost looks like it. Oh, this is so close.
It was so close. Let's see what
I
happens
thought
here.
that Gauntlet would be the one to watch today.
Nails in all 3 laps.
Oh my gosh. Come on, Gale, you madman. You've got this.
Yeah, they're dead even.
It's so bizarre. Because on the one hand, I'm rooting for both these players to make it through unscathed, but on the other hand, a crash would be such good television right now.
kingbeandip. Oh, this is going to be a nail biter. It looks like kingbeandip
got out of the
pulling
tube
ahead
first
because he held those boosts. Off by 0.6 of a second.
That was so close.
0.6 of a second on the longest trek in the game by distance.
Oh boy. I mean, what do you say about that? Gale's gonna have to do more than break serve at this point. See, some of our other tourney matches this year have been close because we keep going to game 9. This one's gonna be close because every match is gonna come down to like tenths of a second or single crashes.
Okay, we have Rain Standage and Abyss Band again, and we are going to Spice Mine Run.
Now, Gale was practicing this the other day. Like, literally yesterday, I think. So I think that Gale might have a shot at this. That said, KBD's time is, like you said, 4 seconds faster, and I don't know how much Gale managed to PB by during his practice session.
And here, paying attention to the cutscene really does matter, because if you just skip the cutscene on Spice Mine Run and you're on a really solid pace, Dozer's in a very precarious position on the final lap.
Not just the dozer, but the minecart itself ends up in a pretty bad spot. That's the main thing that Gale was talking about waiting the cutscene for the other day was the minecart.
But the dozer that kingbeandip just passed on that shortcut has been a decider on several matches on this course, including the 2020 Grand Final for this tournament.
I am confused as well, Lightning Pirate, as to where all the KBD stands came from, but I appreciate them. Oh, the whole engineering Discord is over here? The entire KBD fan base has showed up. A big turnout here from all corners of the engineering territories. See, KBD is cooling off on the conveyors here, which is key because they are fast terrain.
Okay, it looks like the countdown has been given. So we should be starting shortly.
Oh boy.
Gonna be a little while because Gale is programming the cutscene so he can be the dozer. So if kingbeandip goes on a solid pace,
seconds?
it is Yeah, it's about 6.5 seconds.
I went with 7.5. I hope that's not too many.
Very slightly
Nope.
off, but
Looks
it's
like
pretty
it's
much,
about right.
it looks about right, yeah. So, but because Gale went through the
Close enough.
cutscene and King Beandip didn't, the dozer and the minecart's going to be in a much more precarious position for him on the final lap.
Well, for KBD. For Gale, this will be about where he's expecting.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oof. This is much closer than I thought it was going to be. But Gale underheated.
No, I don't think he underheated. I think he just had lower heat coming out of the lab.
Yeah. Now Gale's going to get a nice long boost. I think that put him slightly ahead.
You have a lot more heat to work with when you're going through market than a lot of people realize.
Yeah. Oh no!
Ah, Gale! You're committing crimes against Spice Mine.
But then King Beandip dies!
Woo! Suddenly it's anyone's game again. In fact, Gale is ahead now.
Dozer should be in a better position for King Beandip because of that crash.
Interesting fact, the dozer on this track, its collision is very strange. You might see Gale go into where it is in just a second here. My general joke that I make about the dozer on this track is that it doesn't have collision. Oh, but Gale's not even going to have to worry. Neither of them are going to have to worry about it not having collision because it's just straight up not there.
Gale took a bonk. That was the same place he crashed on the last lap.
Oh, but he's still slightly ahead. I think it's that better boost pattern.
Yeah.
Gale's really been doing his homework here. Oh, man.
Whoa! Okay. Gale, I think, has this.
Congratulations to the entire nation of Australia.
344.999. Beat him
Triple nines,
by
baby.
0.8 of a second.
What a race that was. We got ourselves a game again, folks. Mark the score. Gale is now 2 points.
Now it's King Beandip's pick. King Beandip bans Saboba, which is a throwaway ban at fully upgraded. Zugga challenge ban from Gale.
Between that match of Hellfire versus Homura, where it was just back and forth, and then this, and then there was also Ronnie versus Nock was also back and forth. This has been a really exciting tournament season.
We're going to Fire Mountain Rally.
Woo! Longest track in the game by time.
In the game by time. The game where Ben Quarnaris isn't the fastest. The fastest for a human is Bullseye Navoir.
We do say the fastest for a human because, according to TAS, Ben is faster here. And according to Hellfire, Ben is faster here. But we're not entirely convinced that Hellfire is human and not some sort of ultra-cracked racer goblin. This is a very rough track. There's a lot of twists, a lot of turns, and a lot of opportunities for some good old-fashioned explosions.
which is really easy to do with Bullseye because he is one of the most fragile pods in the game.
This was a qualifier track, so I'm a little surprised that KBD seems to be having trouble in practice here with it. Did you just forget about a couple months ago?
One of the few parts of the game where you have to use the brakes.
Yep, that forest is very challenging, and you do need to use the brakes there, otherwise you will be careening into walls. I don't make the rules, I just follow them.
And then you go into the volcano, which has lava terrain, where you fall onto it, heats up your pod until your engines catch fire, and then you have to repair.
Yep. The lava here is perhaps one of the most interesting terrain hazards, because that heat effect extends infinitely upwards. Oh, did Gale start? Oh, yeah.
Gale started. He's about... Oh, crashes right off the bat! That's terrible for your mental game.
It looks like there might be a half a second desync with KBD leading, right?
Yep.
Is that worth trying to sync?
Probably. It is.
We'll go for it.
Yeah.
There we go, that's much nicer.
Yeah. But yeah. Gale, that's an early crash. That's going to be catastrophic to his mental game. Can Gale recover from that?
I am seeing that it was 1 second exact from Lightning Pirates, so I'm going to actually adjust the tracker. It's not the tracker, the sync again. Can I have another half second coming in here? Sorry. Sorry. There we go.
Yeah.
That's much nicer.
Oh no! Really?
Gale, what are you doing? Fire Mountain Rally is very volatile, though, because of how long it is. It can definitely be a rich get richer, poor get poorer situation, or it can be evened out very swiftly.
More a high-risk, high-reward track, if you ask me.
Absolutely, but I just mean, like, it's so long with so many opportunities to crash that it's, you can't call this one. It's just not callable.
For sure. But this track, along with Ravine Gateway, which was banned, you can make out huge strides against your opponent by going super risky and aggressive, but at the same time, it increases your risk of crashing significantly. So, but kingbeandip is known for being a high-risk, high-reward player. Oh, it's really falling apart for Gale.
Gale losing a lot of time, just second after second, hand over fist here.
And those crashes aren't helping.
I don't want to call it yet, though. You know, catastrophe could strike at any moment.
Here we go, the Quake shortcut.
It's not going to strike right now, but, you know, it could.
Oh! And the bad respawn!
Ew, what are you doing?
kingbeandip crashes!
Well, there it is. I don't think that's going to be enough, but it certainly helps. It'll help, but it's not enough. Gonna need a couple more of those, KBD. Come on, make the match spicy. I'd like some Tabasco sauce for my match, please. will agree with chat. KBD does look very confident here. This is something absolutely unexpected. I didn't see this pick coming today. I remember doing a practice match against KBD, and I don't remember Fire Mountain Rally coming up at all. Then again, I might have banned it. I don't remember.
kingbeandip goes the long way around to avoid a crash.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. This looks like it's going to be firmly in KBD's pocket today.
Yep.
Another one
easily.
in the books.
And coming in with a 522. Match point for kingbeandip.
That's a good one.
And
Gale coming in with a 537.99.
here we go. Land Sandage ban from Gale. Abyss ban from kingbeandip.
KBD really doesn't want to go to Abyss.
Gale went whom? Maybe he exhausted his options. Okay, he's debating safe. Do I go safe or bang?
You go with whatever lets you prolong the match so that we can all be here longer and have more fun.
Okay. Howler Gorge. There's another track there you're really close on.
This is going to be a fun one. I'm kind of hoping that we get, at least another game out of this. I'm hoping for a game 8. If we could go to game 9 on this, that'd be cool. I do understand Gale would have to pull out all the stops to go to game 9, but somehow I feel like with his bright cyan skybox on Endo Prime, he might be able to do it. Oh, now it's bright blue. I think Howler Gorge is one of the most frequently rerouted tracks, right, Draco?
I haven't looked at the statistics in a long time.
I believe it gets rerouted more often than the others because that opening section sometimes, like, the different routes jockey around a little bit as we try to really decide what should and should not be done. Yeah, that's right. That match was wild. This is going to be just as impressive. LP says a lot of Endo Prime gets rerouted. That's fair, but 2 of the Endo Prime tracks are just like this one, but again. Looks like it's about another 1 second desync, right?
Wow, yeah.
KBD leading?
KBD leading. Already seeing a route divergence. kingbeandip slightly in the lead.
Oh,
Gale! He's for going a bit reckless.
Lightning exposing the script of the tournament there. Gale's supposed to win this one. Oh, man!
kingbeandip in a commanding position.
It would require a disaster of truly epic proportions right now for KBD to lose this.
Does a clean shortcut.
Very nice tentrance.
Oh, that was so scary with Gale.
But it was just as clean.
It was clean, but it was a lot more harrowing from the looks of it than kingbeandip. Oh, Gale, really paying the price for going reckless.
Gale, I know you were getting the ceiling clip free every time in practice, but have you considered maybe just not going for it? I just think it might be safer.
Oh, kingbeandip crashes on the shortcut.
This is the kind of thing Gale needs to pick the time back up.
I'm amazed Gale survived that.
I am as well. That was very, very interesting little bit of a rock
And
touch.
Gale crashes on the shortcut too.
Sometimes I just get sad watching the players.
There he gets it, but too little too late.
Shy of kingbeandip finding a soft lock on this track, I don't think Gale could possibly eke this one out anymore.
And here we go. 21
Game,
for
set,
kingbeandip.
match. That's unfortunate.
At least it wasn't a shutout like it was last time.
That's true, but I mean, what's Gale supposed to do against Mike? What's anybody supposed to do against Mikey Burger? The man has like all 50 world records just in a closet somewhere. There's kingbeandip. Congratulations on your commanding victory. And there's Gale.
Hello.
Very much condolences for that one. That was a match. That was a heck of a thing to watch, guys.
Yeah,
that was crazy.
That was of all the tracks I could have taken, it was Malice Day 100, bro. Like, what is going on?
I wasn't even aware. Is that one of your strong picks?
No, I just thought it would be good to know, so I learned it this week.
Nice.
Should have known that when I was leaving it in there that it was a red flag.
Yeah, I grinded that track like 3 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
So it was pretty fresh for me.
Makes sense.
That one did show up in your match against Ace, right, KBD?
Yeah.
Unlucky. I knew I should have picked APC, but I was like, man, Goof is watching. I gotta go. Alagorge.
Gale, I got some bad news. Goof left after the first 3 races.
What?
Actually, after the first race. Goof was not watching.
Yeah, Goof had to go.
Oh, unlucky. Well, I guess he'll catch the broadcast, like the re.
I have double bad news for you. He believed in you on Scrapper's run, and you let him down.
I believed in me too, man. What can I say?
I think a lot of us believed in you on Scrappers. That was heart-wrenching to watch.
It's okay though. Finally, I don't have to worry about the tournament.
Yeah.
At long last, you can go back to doing what you do best. Playing literally anything else for the other 364 days of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a bad strat, you know. It's well known that I practice for this tournament by playing split second.
Yeah, I mean, it's been working out for me. I mean, I made it this far just by playing Trackmania a bit.
We had some really close races.
How close was Gauntlet?
Dude, I messed up my boost
like,
on the last 2 turns. Oh my.
I messed up my boost slightly at the end.
I'm just glad I got a Gauntlet in without a death. Retribution.
Yeah, same here.
There were some very interesting choices in this match. Some very interesting games came through and some fantastic gameplay. Both of you as well illustrating that higher level players don't tend to need the pod bans to prove, who's faster where.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, it seemed like Gale took out your top 3 strongest tracks in Zugga, Bunta Classic, and Grabine?
I actually, I wanted to pick Zugga, but I really didn't want you to, pull a skips on me, so I was like, no.
If it was that guy, I would have done full track. I haven't practiced skips there in a while.
Ah, yeah.
I actually, before the match, I spent like 40 minutes going through all the common skips just in case you picked any of them.
But that is not happening. I don't got time for that. Yeah.
Have you been practicing Howler Gorge recently?
Yeah, it was on my list, so I just
Okay.
kind of I worked on it a bit earlier. The roof thing was going a lot better in like normal attempts, I have to say.
Uh-huh.
It was going really well in practice, and then just suddenly the actual race begins and you couldn't pull it off.
I even like, yeah, exactly. Like even in the warm up, I got it like every time. Yeah, unlucky. How are you feeling about Spice Mine before?
I haven't played it this year.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But it it actually felt just fine today. I probably would have gotten about a 341 or so without that death.
Yeah, I would have. I mean, I've been working on it recently, so I was like pretty confident. As long as I didn't die, there's like no way I could lose. And then I died, and I was like, oh no.
Where did you die?
The turn to the right at the bottom of the conveyor, I like just clipped it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I remember that though. That was rough.
I mean, there's worse places to die, I'll admit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you spawned back in on fast terrain, so you got some free acceleration in there.
Yeah, that's fast terrain respawn and high heat
Yeah,
death.
yeah.
But the other
Yeah, that's
crazy
a really
thing,
good death. That's probably why you beat me by a second when we
Yeah.
both died once.
the other
Your
crazy
death was
thing
much better than
too
mine.
about that is that you almost died in the same way, Gale, on the third and final lap. Only you bonked instead of crashed.
Yeah.
It was
That did
very
cross my
close.
mind. I was like, man, that was close.
I
Yeah.
thought that the only things that could have gone through your mind when that happened were probably in order. Not again. Oh, that was close.
No, I just kind of watched it happen, and I was like, oh. And then I was just like, okay, whatever. Let's just carry on.
I was pretty nervous preparing for this match with you because you've never really grinded really hard before a tournament match. I don't think. I don't know. And it seemed like you've been practicing a lot lately, so I had no idea what to expect from you.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I felt like this was the one match I could have, like, maybe done something, so I wanted to at least give it a shot. I mean, well, against Mikey, it's just like, yeah, there's like no point.
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, it's
put in
just
an
an
effort to
unlucky
beat
spawn.
AC.
Yeah, I just got spawn camped. Let's be honest.
Yeah, this tournament this year is so brutal.
Yeah,
Who even
it's
was
good
it
though.
who came up with this idea to split the brackets? Disclaimer: it was my idea.
I mean, I could have been playing someone, a bit more relaxing than Mikey in the first round if it was like a
Yeah.
16-man bracket.
Yeah.
Maybe lightning or something.
Counterpoint.
A moderate challenge.
Uh-huh.
Counterpoint. I could have been pit against Ace and then the loser of Ace's next match.
Yeah.
So this works out well for the people in lower bracket. People in upper bracket is kind of suffering for you guys. I'm sorry.
I mean, I think upper bracket's fine except for like me and maybe Hellfire. Like it's pretty even otherwise, I think.
It does remind me that Hellfire is in the unfortunate position of having to go against the loser of, what is it, Ace versus Mikey? Something ridiculous.
Well, the way he's been talking, I think his biggest concern is the fact that he's has to bother at all still. He's he doesn't want to play, it seems.
I also kind of feel for Homura because it's his first year in the tournament. And his first match was against Metallica, who's played every year.
Oh, yeah.
Like, even though he's really fast, he still has a really tough opponent first.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was a rough way to start, too.
He did well to qualify that high, considering.
Yeah, he qualified really high.
GG's. Good luck in the next match.
Thanks. GG, Gale. Hope to see you in the tournament again next year.
Oh yeah, we'll see. It was a bit on a whim, but
it was really cool to see you sign up.
And this
Yeah.
will be affecting Gale's Mario 64 speedrun.
That's true. It did delay my Mario practice.
Well, you did make some money, so
That's true.
Well, KBD will be moving on in the tourney to face the loser of
Metallica versus Goofbrush.
goodbye, KBD. It was
Yeah,
nice knowing you.
let's see here. It'll I'm hope it's Metallica.
You've got a better shot against Metallica, I will warrant, but I'm not sure you've got a great shot against either.
I haven't
Not a
lost
knock
to
against
Metallica.
you, just they're both cracked.
Yeah, they are both correct. I haven't lost to Metallica yet.
Oh, that is true. Your tourney history with Metallica has been pretty good, but that also gives them the underdog advantage, maybe? A little bit of
Yeah,
plot armor, a little bit of a revenge quest.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not to mention
Sounding
Metallica
utterly unconcerned.
Not to mention Metallica really almost like explosively improved from last year's tourney.
Yeah, Metallica's been going off. But we'll be seeing you in that match, and condolences to Gale. And as for everybody else, we'll be hopefully seeing you in the next tournament match, which is...
I think it's Saturday, and it's Lightning
Nacho
Pirate
Grotto
versus
versus
Nacho
Lightning.
Grotto at 6:15 p.m. Eastern.
That's going to be one heck of a match. You guys aren't going to want to miss that at all.
Yeah, it feels
So-
like Nacho versus Lightning has always been intense.
These two have like a small-time rivalry, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Until then, keep your goggles on and your engines tuned, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.
Good luck, everyone. May the force be with you.